Fred Again and Skrillex swapped houses? EDM.com reported Fred Again has revealed that he's living in the Los Angeles home of Skrillex, who's currently shacking up in the Brits' London digs. The two electronic music superstars swapped homes ahead of the release of Fred's long-awaited third album, Actual Life 3, which is out now. Speaking to Zane Lowe on Apple Music One, Fred opened up about his new perspective after experiencing the quote-unquote creative impact of Los Angeles. We've done a home swap at the moment, so he's staying at mine in London and I'm staying at his in LA, and it's kind of lovely, but it's just nice having a place here that is home-ish feeling, Fred said. So when I'm here, I kind of have a base. It doesn't feel like a natural place for spontaneity and being able to walk around and stuff like that. I love seeing the creative processes from different artists like Skrillex, Fred Again, and all these artists that I look up to, because it's so interesting seeing, not even just in music, but I feel like in any field, any profession, the unique tricks people use when it comes to improving their workflow, productivity, creativity, attention, and a lot more. And I gotta say, there is something just super unique when traveling and making music at the same time. That is one thing I definitely resonate a lot with this, because my first ever album, in case you didn't know, was released in 2015 called The Light Nearby. And in 2014, I toured the country for 10 months, and I spent a month in 10 major cities in the United States, and I made a song about each city encapsulating that city's vibes in musical form. And it was so interesting, like say when I was making a song about Miami, for example, and then making a song about Boulder, Colorado, for example, how, of course, Boulder versus Miami, two completely different areas, and those songs are completely different, as you can imagine. I will say this too, I have a link listed below to that album if you just want to check it out. And to me, when traveling, I didn't expect how much my area and my environment would have an impact on my music. Now, of course, we all know that, right? Your environment, when it comes to working in general, has a big impact on pretty much everyone, but I didn't expect the intensity and the gravity of that impact when traveling. It's weird how in some places I was super productive, but in other places, I was not. And there was really no rhyme or reason either. I remember a couple years ago when I was in Vancouver, I was at the Starbucks Reserve, and for whatever reason, the Starbucks Reserve in Vancouver on Main Street, unfortunately, it did close down because of the pandemic, but for whatever reason, that Starbucks, I was mind-blowingly productive, and I busted out tons of new music when I was there. However, there's a Starbucks here in LA that for whatever reason, just not productive at all. There is definitely something to say that mixing up your environment, I feel like it forces your brain to kind of look at all these new things, which maybe in a unique way removes all those patterns your brain is used to, which then eventually leads you to being more creative, thinking more outside the box, because you're not seeing the same thing over and over again. This is definitely a really cool technique that I suggest a lot of musicians should use in terms of mixing up your environment. I'm not saying you have to go all out like Skrillex and Fred Again in terms of swapping houses with a friend, but maybe grab some headphones, go to your library, go to a Starbucks, go to a park even, just bring your computer and see maybe what you can make just switching up your environment. You'd be surprised how much of a difference it can make. And let's say, especially if you're going through a creative rut, I know a lot of musicians talk about going through, writer's block and everything. It's very common for any creative individual. This is a great way to kind of switch things up, switch up your environment, and work on something new.